So far, we actually had looked at the functions basically and lambda functions. And also we saw what are the uh, availability or the space at which a variable can be defined, right? So this is what was our last topic we had discussed after the lambda functions. All right, so we'll move further. We'll go to the module. The next topic is all right. So it's actually the modules, or I can make it a module. When we say we are going to import a module, basically we are trying to import the functionalities written inside a file. All right. So a module can be defined as it's a file containing a set of functions. Okay, so those functions are not necessarily be present in Python by default. So according to the requirement, somebody might have written their own functions, but they're making the functions available to you so that you can use it, right? So it's called as a module. We can even call it as a library. All right. So let us the first thing that I want to discuss here is how to create a module, right? So you can actually write a code and you can save it, right? There's a specific way to do this. I'll add to the same point. So to create a library, we save the code in a file with the .py extension. All right. So I'll show you now how to do this. So let me go back and let me shift to a notepad. So open a new notepad. We'll open a new notepad, and you can see that here I already have given a name. The name is my module.py. All right. So I want to create a library. Create a library or module whose name is my module. All right. So that's why I gave this name to the file. So next, what I do, I'll try to write a particular uh, function. All right. So inside this particular library, I'm trying to write a function. Right. So use the same Python code, right? Doesn't matter how you use. So simply you can say that it's a uh, squarer, or it's squaring function. How we write a normal function? You write that. It's a n. It's going to take a value n and give the appropriate space, because since I'm using an editor which is not Jupyter, it doesn't know how many space to give. So by default, the spacing, right, is the intention is 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then I'll write return. If I pass say n to this, I am supposed to return n into n. Do that and save it. I save it in the same folder where I'm actually running my Jupyter notebook. Okay, so that's what is required. I have saved it, and again, important part is to save it using this .py notation. It's not IPYNB, it has to be .py itself, right? Once we do that, we'll go back to this, the Jupyter notebook, and I will try to import now. So import, I have to call the same name of the file which I had entered. So it is my module, right? So my, so you see, it doesn't give any error because it's already existing, right? It's there. Now, if you want to use this, I can use any function that is written inside this particular file. Inside this my module, if you have written a cubing function, right, square root, e to the power, anything that you have written, you can use it. Okay, so this is my module dot. You need to remember what was the function, right? We called it as squaring function. So inside my module, I have a squaring function, and I pass a value to that. It's 3. You see, it runs. So inside the my module, you are actually running that particular code. All right. So now we can actually, if you have saved some of the values inside the function, right? So we can even read that, right? Inside that file. Let me go back to that. So this is actually, I'm trying to write another concept here. So that is the inside the module. So if you have written something already inside your module, right, you can actually access that as well. So let me try to write that. All right. So let me go back to the same notepad wherein I'll try to write something. Okay. So this was the first function. Then let me go to the next part. And here I'll try to type the following. So the next thing I want to write here is, let me create a person. All right. So the person is equal to, you can see I'm trying to write a dictionary name equal to, I'll write my name. Okay. The next thing that I want to enter is, say, age. All right. So let's write a number, say 35. Okay. And let me also write country equal to India. Okay. So I created a variable person, which is actually, if you see that, it is a dictionary. Fine, I'll save this. So once you save this, I'll go back. So it's already getting saved in the same folder where I am running my Jupyter notebook. So that's also important because it's a user written module, right? So we'll go back, and so let's try to look at, see, you have created a variable now. You need to access that. You can access that. So how to access, we'll see. Okay, so what I do now, I will, okay, this is the heading, and now you see, once again, let me import, because when I imported that previously, I don't think the variable was present. So now it has been modified. So import that once again, my module. Then let me see, I create a variable a is equal to, inside this my module dot, you have a person, because you know that there is already a, what do you call, variable by the name person, and in that you may have You can read a name if you want, or maybe age. That is A. Let me try to inspect that. Oh, that's it. Let me check the spelling once again. Normally I do a mistake. Person, and there is age, there's country. This is again my module.py. Let me check the spelling again. This is my module. I have saved it. Let me check once again. So I need to save this. Let me. Oh, sorry. I'll show you what was my mistake. Okay, I actually did a mistake in creating the dictionary itself. I actually used equal to. That is my biggest mistake. Sorry about that. So we know that when we create a dictionary, it is expected that you use the colon. That's the only mistake. All right, let me say that. And let's go back and let's try to run this. Okay, I'll come back to import module. Then I come to this. Again, there is an error. Dot person. Let me check. Sorry. What's my mistake? Person, name, age. All right, so it's fine. I have written properly. But let me check this. Import my module. My module. Let me check the name once again. Sorry about that. My dot person. Pick run. My module has no attribute called person. Let me check the extension once again. Sorry for that. My module.py. It's correct. Let me check this. Let me rewrite. Let me go back to the notepad and let us check. All right. So I have started with this. Okay. So person, person, and in the code also I have written person, person, which module. It's correct. Import the module. Import module. Let me do one thing. Since the my module is already imported, I think it's unable to import that again. Maybe that could be one possible case. So for that reason, I'll try to save this particular file using a different this thing. Okay, so save as. I'll go to the save as. This is my module 2.py. Maybe that should work. Okay, so that's the only possible case here. So I saved it as my module 2.py. Okay, there's a dot text. So it should not be there. I'll go back. I'll close this file. Right. I will come back to the browser and I'll close that particular file which was created. I'll go back to the page and I will modify that as my module 2.py. and I will open that. Once again, it will come. Now I have, let me show you what I did. So this is what happened. So I have my module2.py. It has person, name, age and country as the key. And we have the values, Prashanth, 35 and India. All right. So let's check whether this works now. So the module name is my module 2. It is my module 2. Fine. It's still giving an error saying that, oh, sorry, I have to write a my module 2 here. So I hope it runs. Yes. So the problem was, again, this is system dependent. Normally what happens when we import a module, until and unless you exit the current kernel. So if you click here, you can see that the kernel is whatever is running, right? Until and unless you restart the kernel, the new changes in the module will not be considered. Okay, initial one, whenever you import a module, whatever is there, it will be considered. So because of that reason, this issue came wherein I tried to modify the module and I tried to import that in the middle. Okay, so that was a problem. Right, now you see, actually, normally the modules names given by the original authors of this module, you may find it too difficult to write every time. You see here, my module 2, my module 2, every time I access a variable, I have to write that. So there is a solution to avoid typing the large names given by the original authors. Okay, so this is the next concept. All right, so this concept is renaming a module. So by using what is called as, right, using alias names. So how to use alias name? It's very easy. So while importing, right, let me, I don't know whether this will run. If it does not run, I have to do the same process again. I will save it once again in a different name and then I come back. Okay, so import my module 2, right? Give an alias name by using as, okay, as maybe it's next, and anything you can write. You can write ABC. All right, so it understands that it has to import my module 2 as ABC. So whenever somebody says ABC, so A is equal to ABC dot, it's the same thing, PERSON, and maybe you can write a different thing over there, or you can even write the same thing as age. Let's see. Okay, and at the end I'll write A. So let's check. It runs. Right? So it actually understands, since the my module 2 is already existing and it's the same thing which is going to work. Now I didn't modify, so I'm not getting any issue over here. All right, so that is another case here. So normally there are some inbuilt what you call platform inbuilt modules. For example, right? Let me write some examples. I'll try to show. All right, so right, I'll show you the built-in modules. Right, one module is called as platform. I bring it, so I can check platform dot system, or I can write x equal to platform dot system. That also is going to work. It says Windows, in the sense I'm actually running on a Windows machine. Okay, then I can also do what is called, there's a function inside this platform. It's called as I can use what's the directory of this. I can check that. So right? Various directories, right, that are present in this thing, we can actually check. All right, then we have another thing that we can actually import here, right? It's actually directly you can bring a part of your library as well, right? This is something like using from keyword, from my module 2, you can say that import, because inside that my module function, maybe you have written several functions. Inside that particular file, you have many functions, let us say. You want to bring only one of them because you are not going to use others. In your current program, you are going to use only one. So if that is the case, you can specify, I want only this function, or I want only one variable, right? So person, right? You can try to check what's that person, right? Or person of age, person of country, right? Etc. You can directly try over there. All right. So this is all about a module. So when we say I'm using a module, right, I should be able to understand how to use uh, the modules and what exactly a module means, right? Now I think we know that. Right. Then uh, inside the module, let's see. Can we do any quick exercise, or will uh, go to the exercise at a later stage? I think we will be going to that at a later stage. So let us quickly go to the other topic, which we need to be, which we have to use it, right, several times. So that is the user input. Right? So user input, in a sense, in your program, maybe you want the user to give some values as input, and right, you want to take that into a variable, right? It's very simple, right? For example, I'll just try to write here, say name is a variable is equal to, the keyword is input. Whenever I say input, right, whatever I enter will come to that variable input. And if you want to type something, you can type here, enter your name. All right, so I can just run this, and okay, I'll say that print name. So run this, enter your name. You see that I'll enter name. Let's enter. So you see it's printed. So this is the way how you can read the inputs from user. So whatever user enters will come to that particular variable which you have created. So one of the very useful thing in this, and then we'll move to the next one. So it is also pretty much important because normally you may have to read some data from file, or write something into a file. So next topic we are going to discuss is called as file. All right. So basically deals with various file operations such as creating a file, reading a file, creating, reading, updating, and deleting files. So basically we have these things present, right? Whenever we try to do whenever we try to handle the files. So ultimately we are trying to do one of these operations. Okay, now file handle begins with one very important function that is called as open. All right, so first I'll start with a function called open. Right, it's a function that actually takes two parameters. One is file name, and it also uses what is called as a mode, right? So basically you have file name can be anything, whichever type of the file that you want to give, you can actually enter there, right? That's a file name. And the mode is actually very important, right? So what are the modes that are present here? I'll try to type here. So okay, let me write the file name of the file, and the modes are like this. Modes are, so we have the modes. One is called as R. That's a read mode, in the sense this is equal to you are going to read something from the file. Okay, it's a text, it's a character, so I need to, when I use it in the program, I'll write single quotes around that or double quotes. Then the second one is a append. In a sense, you will say that with this file name, what you are going to do. All right, so are you going to read, are you going to append, or will you be writing? It's a write mode. And right, okay, so these are the modes that we will be normally using. And right, okay, let's use the syntax. All right, so this is what we'll do. So first thing is that I want to open, right? If you want to read, it should be present over there. If you don't have a file, right, we actually may not be able to do anything out of it. So normally what we do, let me try to show you, because I don't have a file with this name, but let me show you the usage. All right, so I'll say that f is equal to, I'll say open. I'm opening a file by the name. Let me give a name, demo file dot txt. You will normally you will use an extension. Okay, that's txt, and you will say that you want either to read or write. Okay, so you see here. Okay, in addition to this, normally I'll write one more thing here. That is actually a file handle. All right, in a sense, in addition to the mode, right? I'll write one more thing. If at all you, in addition to the mode, if you can specify a T here, this is for text files, and you can use B, it's for binary files. So text files, we know, binary files are something which is executable, or even the images can be written in the binary form. So let me show you something, right? If at all, anyway, I'm not running this, right? I have two options. Let me try to write here. So it does not exist. Okay, no such file. That's why it is not running. I'm just showing you the usage. So I will comment this out. It's not going to run because I don't have such file. I'll show the usage of exact file in a while. So this is one option. Otherwise, this is a default option. So read is a default. Okay, always it is default. You see, I didn't write R or A, W, T, etc. I didn't write. Right? If there is a file called demo file.txt, it will definitely, it will read. Okay, or let me do one thing. Let me create that over. Okay, in my directory, I'll create a file so that it will run. So I'll create a new document. It's called as demo file.px. Right, so it's there now. Now it has to run. I have created that. I'll come back to the program window. Now f is equal to, I think I created f capital. That's all. Okay, demo file.txt. So you see, I'm not getting any error because this file exists in my computer now. This is one thing. This is same as, even if you want to specify the mode, it's possible now. F is also equal to open. Same thing, that demo file txt, and I can actually specify here there is a default mode called read. If you don't write, it is always read. So the above line number 198, whatever function, whatever command I have written, it is same as specifying read text. It's one and same. Both of these are doing the same thing. Since I need the default thing, right? This is how both are one and same. Okay, now let me try to write something inside my file. Okay, so I'll go back to the file and let me type something inside the file and come back so that I'll show you what I have typed when I read the file. Okay, right, I have saved something, and let me come back to the program. Okay, now you see here what I do. Let me run this again. So I will use this, right? Okay, I'll move this back. F is already there. F is equal to, let me show. The T is not needed because it's already text, right? It's txt. It means it is text. You don't have to write that. So let me run this once again. And now let me show you, right? So there is a function called read. Read is a method, right, which actually is used to read the content, right? Let me write that point here. So read is used to read the content from a file. So how to use this? This is the method. Already you have opened that. Simply say print whatever you have read from the file. What is the file? File is present in F. Read. So this is what I had written inside the file, which I had created by the name demo file.txt. So you can see the text. All right, then if at all you save it in a different location, right? Now you see this demo file is actually present. I know that. Where is it located? Assume that this is located at a different location. I'll just give you this thing because I will not run that as it is. So let me try to save another file, that is demo file 2.txt, in a different location in my computer, and I'll come back. Just hold on. So I'll copy that file, that is demo file.txt. Okay, that is present in one location of my computer. That's the default location. Let me say I will put that in a different location. Maybe I'll put it in a different drive, and all right, I'll give a name as demo file 2.txt. So I'll open that and I'll write, this is demo file 2.txt. This file is for second testing purpose, and I'll write a good luck. Okay, let's see. Now actually I have modified the content inside the that particular file just to distinguish between the two. Okay, so all right, so let me go back to the main function, and I'll write here. Now in order to read my new file, I'll write this. So F is equal to open. I need to actually, I directly wrote the file's location earlier, directly the name, because it was located in the default location wherever I used to run the Jupyter notebook, it's in the same role. But now you see it is in a different location. All right. So I need to write this. It's present in inside a D drive, and I will write the same name, that is demo file 2 dot txt, and I'll definitely use the read mode. Let's check. Yeah, so that is done. Again, I can print the f dot read. So you see, actually I modified the name demo file 2.txt, and this is for second testing. I changed the content just to make sure that I get a new, I read the proper file. Okay, so yes, that's how you can do this. Now, how to read a specific part of the file, right? So that's the next concept that we are going to look, right? If read can be specified with the number of characters to be read. All right, so I can simply write print f dot read. If you just write like this, it reads the complete text. I can just say that maybe 5 or 6. Let's see. F dot, okay, it already read. After that you don't have anything, so I need to do this again, so because it already read everything, right? So once again you don't have anything to read over there. So this is what I do. Then I'll type. Okay, so you see the first 6 characters are read. So once you read everything, you cannot read it again, because right, that's how it works, right? So you read once, right? If you want to read it again, you have to, right, do something. Then to read a line, so line by line, if you want to read, you have an option. Okay, so that is to read a line, you have a function called read line. Read line function has to be used. So what I do, I'll just copy this, because I need to this f. Now you see print f dot read line. Okay, so you can see that one of the lines read, but you see I have few more lines left over, so you can repeat this, doesn't matter, it will go to the next line, it will print that. Okay, I have another line coming up, I know that, so I can. So you see that line by line, if you want to read, this is the option. Okay, again, it's not the only method, right? You can actually do this using a loop as well, right? I'll show you the looping structure. This is my f. Then for a line in f, its line is a variable. You can give x, y, z, whatever, doesn't matter. For a line in x, print line. One by one, you see this prints, then it prints this, then it prints this. Okay, so once it is done, right, you have to close. All right, so closing a file, right? So let's do that. It's simply the file handle, that is f dot close. Now onwards, if you use f, it says no, I don't know what is f. Okay, because you have closed that. Right. So reading is over. Let's write. Writing to an existing file. So again, you have to use the parameter open. Initially, I have to open, right? Because there is already the file already exists over there, but I am supposed to open that first. Okay, so obviously there is open. You have to use open, and if you want to do an append, you will use a, or we know that there is another option, that is to write, a or w. So open has to be used, a or w, it is left to you. If you want to append, you use a. If you want to write, you use this. Okay, but you think, okay, let me write it in more detail. This is append, or if I say w, this actually overrides. So this is it. All right. So let's open f equal to open. I think I already have a demo file too, so I will write it as demo file 3 dot txt. I'll write say append. Anyway, it's not there. I'll do something. F dot. If you want to append, it's you are going to, whatever is the content, you are going to add something to that. Okay. So, or let me do something. Already I have a file 2 in my computer memory. I'll bring it back to that itself. Let me try to add. Okay. So I'll bring it to the location where I'm actually writing my file. Okay, demo file 2 is there. So already I have a demo file 2 with me, and let me do this with the demo file 2 itself. Okay, demo file 2, I open it as a appending mode. Then I'll use a function called writ. You are writing something, and the text that I'm going to write here is, now I added more content to this file. All right, I do that, and once I finish that, I close f dot close. So there is a demo file 2 in the location. It is read, it's opened, appended, and I close it. Now let me right, let me check that. Let me copy this content. It becomes very fast. Control V. This is demo file 2, and I'm opening it in the read format. Let's see. So you see, right after the good luck, this is the added part. So I actually had demo file 2, this, and this, right? So now I added a new content to that. Okay, now I'll show the same thing. F equal to open. Everything is same, right? Everything will remain same. Let me copy. Only change is that instead of append, I write W. Okay, so now I'll write, now I original content. So I run this. Actually, you see what happens. I copy this and I paste this. You see that the same file only has one line because all the original content got erased and right, it's gone. Okay, now you see, so far the file was not created. In a sense, I outside this programming, I created the file. Okay. Now, how do you create an empty file? Because empty file creation is also important. So you can do that by using the following things. So f equal to, so I write a comment here. So this is for empty file use mode equal to x, small letter x. So for example, f equal to open, and I will write f equal to open my file. You can type it as sorry, it's a name. So my file ext, and since this does not exist, you need to say that x there. Now you see this will not get any error, and you will find a file by that name in your directory. Okay, so now to delete, the last option is to delete. To delete a file, we need to use the remove function that actually present inside in the OS module. So let me show you that. So I import OS. After I import OS, now I know that in my particular folder, the current folder, I have a myfile.txt. I want to remove that. Okay, I want to delete that. OS dot remove specify, that is myfile.txt. Okay, so it says that the my file is being used. Okay, sorry. What I can do here is file already exists. Okay, so let me do something. Sorry, mistake. So I try to create the file again. That's why it says it already exists, right? So I will I need to close this. Okay, so unless and I close this, I am not able to delete. That's why the error came up. So I'm trying to do this. I f dot close, right? So that is done. Now I have imported the OS. Now you can see that I can run this, right? So here it's showing an error just because I try to create a file which already exists over there. Okay, so I'll run this once again. I'll say that my file 2 x means you create the file. The file gets created. So as soon as the file gets created, right, I close the file, f close, right? Then I import the OS module, and inside the OS module you have a command called remove. If you use that, that my file 2.txt can be erased. So it gets erased from the computer memory, whichever folder that we had it, right? It actually gets erased. Okay, so that is all about the creation and usage of these what we call as the files, right? How can we use the files and how to operate various do the various file operations also we have seen. Overall, this is called as the file handling in Python. All right, now let us move to the exercise part. So now our intention is to implement, we'll create we'll write a problem here. So, and we'll try to solve the problem, right, in various methods, so that we will be able to recall everything that we have uh, been studying since yesterday. All right, so let's write that. So, okay, this is exercise number. Sorry, control. Right, that's my mistake. And let me run this part again. Otherwise, demo file 2. Okay, my file.x. I create that, close that, I import, and I remove. So this is running. All right, fine. Okay, now the exercise number 1. So I want to write a program to implement the same thing in various ways. Okay, so write a program to find the sum of all the multiples of 3 or 5 below the number 1000. Okay, so this is the question. All right, so let's start with the conventional method, the regular programming. Okay, this is how it can be done. Let me try to write this as method number 1. I'll define a function, right? So which actually takes care of the sum. All right, I'll write my sum, and let me assume I pass the array or the list to this. N is a list. I want to find out the sum based on some condition. So I initialize a sum equal to 0. Then this n has many values present in it. Okay, so that I try to point out by a variable called I. So for every element that is I in this n. Now you see, you want the sum of all the numbers, but this must be either divisible by 3 or divisible by 5. Correct? So how do you track that? Use a if condition. If that particular I percentage 3 equal to 0, that's one condition. Otherwise, or the same I percentage equal to 0. If this condition is satisfied, sum is equal to sum plus that I. Okay, I think we can come out of the loop. Once you are out of the loop, you can return this. Okay, actually I made a mistake here. Can you identify that? So my variable is a keyword, right? So I am not supposed to do that. So I'll just write it as sum1. Okay, so now you see it's not a keyword. It's not suggested to use the keyword right as a variable. Right? So now you see I call the function my sum. It's a function. I just have to pass a list to that. So range up to 1000. In the sense, it contains all the numbers from 0 to 999. So it says this is the answer. Okay. So I don't know whether this is right answer, wrong answer. No, we'll verify. We'll verify by writing the same code in other methods. Okay. So let's try to do that. Okay? So this is, so what we have written here, the 231 and 232 is the conventional programming method. For this, actually, Python is not at all needed. We can do it without Python, like other languages can also support this. But if you really want to use Python, you have to think of some other method. Okay, so that's where I go with method number 2. Now, look at this. First, let me write the answer. So I'll say sum of, because sum is a function, it adds up every element. Range, I create a list, start from 3, go till 1000 with the increment of 2. So that means 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, etc. You will create a range and you take the sum. This is fine for us. Now, in addition to this, I do the sum of range of start with 5, go till 1000, excluding 1000 in the step of 5. This means you are adding 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and so on. But now I have a problem. So this sum takes care of 15 once. This actually takes care of 15 once again. Right? Like that. Some of the common multiples, both whichever the numbers are divisible by 3 as well as 5, they are repeated. Correct? Now I need to subtract. So minus sum of range. Now you see all the multiples of 15 are the ones which are actually repeated. So 15 go till 1000 in the steps of. So you see here, this answer matches with this. So which means that yes, whatever code we had written earlier is correct. Okay, that's method 2. Is that it? No, we can go ahead, right? We can do something more. Method 3. Right. So you see, there was a problem of repetition, right? So these numbers in the sum of in the range 3, 1000, 3 and another range 5, 1000, 5, there were repetitions. So how can you remove the repetitions? You can create a set, right? So you can use a set now. You don't have to go with the range. You can go to the set. So to calculate the sum of, first thing is a set. It's a set of, go to the range, create a range but with a set. Okay, a range of the same thing, 3, 1000, 3. This is my first range. I need to create a set of this. Or let me put an or condition here. Another set of range of 5, 1000, 5. See, it's giving the same answer, right? You take a sum of the sets, right? Set means no repetition, right? I have a set here, this set or this set. So result of this or operation is also a set, which eliminates the repetition. 15 comes here in this set, 15 also comes in this set, But since you are doing a OR operation, 15 is considered only once. That's all. So that's a much easier way of implementation. Then, since you are getting a single answer from a array or from a list, I should be able to understand that I am trying to implement, see, the filtering approach, maybe, right? Maybe I can try to use a filtering approach. Let's try. Okay, so what I try to do here is, okay, I'll define a function. I call it as my number select, and I pass a number to this, and I try to return either the number divisible by 3 or the number divisible by, oh, sorry, n percentage 3 equal to 0, or n percentage 5 equal to 0, right? This is what I'm trying to return now. And I want the sum of all those numbers which pass out of this filter. That filter actually is applied, right, using the function my number my number select to the list having range up to 1000. All right, so whichever you feel comfortable, you stick to that. Okay, that is what is necessary. Knowing, you should know everything, how every topic works, but whichever you feel comfortable, right, writing this kind of codes, right, is important. Whatever you feel easier, you stick to that. Okay, maybe I can show you another method. Method 5. So I will use the same filtering approach using the other method. So sum of x or x in range 1000 if my num select of x. It's one and same, right? So here you see you are writing the code in this way. Here you are writing in this way. Both are actually same, right? You see that if the name of the function comes towards the end, that means what? You are actually using the filtering approach. So here we use the same filtering approach. All right, then okay, let's I think that's about the first exercise. Exercise number 2. Right, this is a question. What is the smallest positive number that is divisible all numbers from 1 to 20? Okay, so this is a question, right? Find out that smallest positive number which can be divided by any number in between 1 and 20. I should be able to divide by 1, definitely 1 is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dot, 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 dot. Every number till 20, you should be able to divide. So that is the that's a question, right? So if you look carefully, this question is all about finding out that one particular number which is divisible by everything, means it is nothing but it is LCM. isn't it? So we are supposed to find out the LCM here. So the question is very straightforward and very simple. All right, so let's try to answer that now. Right, this is again method one. We'll try to write at least two methods just for comparison purpose. So first method is, since I know that it is LCM, I will try to write the code that we have already used somewhere. So I import math, and then I'll define a function that is called as my LCM. So I will pass two numbers to this. One is X, one is Y, and I return the product X into Y divided by, inside the math module, I have what is called as a greatest common divisor, GCD, of the two numbers X and Y. Okay, so that is this part. Actually we have used one, so it should be clear. Now I will also define LCM of many numbers, right? So define LCM of many. I to find the many LCM of many numbers, I need to pass the many numbers. So those many numbers will come as a list, that is n here, and I will check. So if you remember, if you pass only one number, if the length of this list equal to 1, means what? That means whatever you have sent is the LCM, right? So you return n of 0 means it's the first one. Okay, now you check if you have length equal to 2. If length of this n, what we have written here, if that is equal to 2, what's the answer? I need to return my LCM, that's the previous function, of the two numbers. One is n of 0, comma, the next number is in the n, the first one. Okay, what if the length is more than 2, that is 3, 4, 5 or something? First calculate the LCM of the first two, use that with the remaining elements of that particular list. So what I do, I calculate a number which is nothing but the LCM, my LCM of, I need to concatenate, that is sorry, not concatenate, I need to calculate the LCM, my LCM of the same thing, that is n of 0, comma, n of 1. I calculate and keep it ready inside the variable called number, and then I return the following. What I return, I call my same function, that is LCM of many. You need to pass this answer, that is the number concatenated with the remaining part of the same list. In the list, n of 0 and n of 1 are removed, are already used. Remaining part, that is n of 2 till the end. So remember the slicing concept. So this says that start from 2 and go till the end. Like that, this can be done. All right. So this is my code that is required now. What I do, I'll pass. So LCM of many for the range 1 to, it says 1 to 20. 20 is included, so I have to write 20. What is the error? Only concatenate list, not the range. Sorry. then I have to use a list here. Okay, so it's a list of this range. It says that only if you have the list, I can do the concatenation, because I'm using a concatenation in the middle. So I have to use a list. That's my mistake. So it says 23279250 is the answer. It will verify, because we actually don't have an answer readily available with this. For that, what we do, uh, we see this answer is a single answer that is coming after processing a particular list, elements of the list. So list is converted into a single answer, means this is a reduce operation, right? So I know that the import is present inside the func2. Import that, then I need to write this import math, and I'll write this here. All right. So actually, sorry, this is, I'll write here, and I'll write this as it's a method number 2. All right. And now you see I will use func tools reduce. What exactly you are executing? You are executing the function called my LCM on what? On the list. Okay, I think the list is not required here. Let me check. So I can directly pass the range 1 to 21. Yeah. All right. So that's how we can write this. And all right, let's go to the next one. Exercise. I didn't get any other method to be implemented here, because we cannot go with the filter or mapping, because answer is a single number. All right. Okay, let's see. Then exercise number 3. Print the integers to n, where n is normally, n can be entered by a user. All right. 1 to n. But print is if the integer is divisible by 3. Now, you print was if integer is divisible by 5 and is was if integer is divisible by both 3 and 5. This is a very interesting problem called FizzBuzz. So you can enter any number, you can feed a number n to your program, and the computer has to print out all the numbers starting from 1 till that number. If the number n is equal to 30, you will print 1, 2, 3, 4, dot, 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 up to 30. But in that, you have a subpart that is coming up. it says that if the number which you are printing is divisible by only 3, you print a fizz over there, like 1, 2, there is no 3, you will write a fizz. Then 4, the next number, not 5, it's a buzz. Then 6, instead of 6, you write a fizz. 7, 8, fizz. Then 10 comes into picture, you print a buzz, and so on, like that. The first number which is divisible by both 3 and 5 is 15. So when you keep printing, like after 14, you print a fizz buzz. Okay, so this is the question. All right, let's try to answer this. And okay, define. I called it by fizz buzz. You will enter a number n. You will pass a number n to this. All right. Now I will check if that n is divisible by 3 and n is divisible by 5. Then what you do, you return. You have a return fizz buzz. Then I'll check if the n is divisible by only 3. You return only fizz. Okay, then if n percentage 5 equal to 0, divisible by 5, you need to return. This is over, so bus. If none of this is true, you will return the number as it is, because you want to print it out. Okay, so I convert that into string value of n. Okay, converting to string is optional, you don't have to do it actually. So this is the fizz buzz function. Now I will maybe I can use the mapping, because 1 to 30, maybe I'll pass 1 to 31. 1 to 31 I pass, my answer is also of the same length, correct? I will print 1 to dot 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 up to 30 itself, only I'll make some changes. So that means I'm trying to do a mapping over here. So mapping means call the function fizz 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 buzz of say x for x in, create a range, start from 1, go till say 31. Oh, my mistake. Sorry. Yeah. Let's just check. 1, 2, 3 is a fizz, 4 buzz, fizz, 7, 8 fizz, then buzz. This is 9, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 15 is a fizz buzz. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is buzz. Yeah, 30 is fizz buzz, and so on. Yes. Okay, so that is this part. All right, let's try a new approach. Right, I want to show you the usage of the dictionaries, right? Because in a program we have never used a dictionary. So I want you to show you this. This may be out of box. People may not be able to guess this method directly, but yes, it is possible, right? If we use we use dictionaries right regularly, we will get this idea as well. All right, so I'll define, this is actually method 2, method number 2. Let me define. It's fizzbuzz2, and I will pass, say, an integer n. Something will come as input. All right. Now, inside this function, I'll create a dictionary. So it has to be a dictionary itself. So you see, I'll follow this regular method used for dictionary. So inside dictionary, I need to have a key followed by value. Okay. So the keys can be anything. So because of that, I am using tuple here. Key is a tuple. So tuple values are Boolean. Okay, just hold on. The things become clear to you why I'm doing this. Okay, true, true, right? If I have a tuple with both values being true and true, then that's a key. Then its value becomes fizzbuzz. Let's see. I'll move further. Then, if it is true and the second value being false, second value in the tuple, then corresponding to this key, let us say the value I'm going to assign is fizz. Okay, then yeah, let me move further. False, false comma true. If that is the case, buzz. All right, then false, false. If that is the case, oh, sorry, I wrote it. I think I wrote. It should be colon, right? Because it has to be key colon value, right? Colon, the value is str of n. Okay, I close this. Now you see it becomes very clear to you. I will, the first place is n percentage 3 equal to 0. N percentage 3 equal to 0 means what? This is either it will become true or false. The second position, second entry of the tuple is actually the value of n percentage 5 equal to 0. So that also can be true or false. Now, if both of them are true, that means what? It is the number n is divisible by both 3 and 5. If only the first position true, second position false, it means divisible by 3. So I assigned this. First is false, second is true, means it is divisible by 5. If both of them are false, then it means it is a number as it is, it should go back, right? So I'll return my dict. Okay, inside the my dict, you just check n, is it n percentage 3 equal to 0, and the second one is n percentage 5 equal to 0. Okay, this is the definition. Now what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to use this particular function as a map. So once again, it will be a map itself. So it's fizzbuzz2 of I for I in the range 1 to 31. Okay, so it does the same job like the previous one. All right. Then, so we have few more exercises left over. We'll finish that, and that actually completes the Python level 1. All right. So few more things left over. Let's finish that. This is exercise number. I think we did 3, so this is 4. Find the sum of all prime numbers below 2 million. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is the question, right? Let's try to first apply the same what do you call, same logic we applied to find out the prime first, because whenever number comes, I need to identify that whether that number is prime or not, right? So let's do that calculation first. I'll define is prime. I will pass n to this. So my answer should be yes or no, right? I can return true or false, right? Now, okay. First, what I do, I'll say that if the number is less than 2, right, it's not a prime. 0 and 1 are not considered as prime. So if the n is less than, say, 2, that's the condition, I can say return false. It's a false. Then first few numbers you can actually enter. So if n is present in one of these, that is starting from 2, 3, you can even write next few numbers, 5, 7, etc. Okay, these are the first prime numbers, so I just write them. If the n is one among these, means what? You have to return it is true. It's a true. It's a prime. After this, you have to start from 3, go all the way, right, till which number? If it's something like starting from 3, then 5, then 7, and so on, then 9, 11, etc. You need to keep incrementing your factor and check that whether you are able to divide the number, right? This is the logic. So let's define the factor equal to 3. I start from 3 and I use a while. Okay, while this factor into the factor, while the factor into factor is lesser than or equal to n, because math says that I don't have to do all the way till n minus 1, just take till the root of that n. Okay, while f into f is, while f square is equal to n, right, you are supposed to do only till there. That means n is equal to root, if you take a square root of n, you get a factor. So I need to compute only till there. Okay, so if this is the condition, now let us try to what we can do. Okay, I have to check. So I'll go for if condition. If the n percentage, that if you are able to divide n by the factor, remainder equal to 0, means what? That means you return false because the number is divisible by a number which is between 2 and that number. So it means it's not a prime. But if I don't go inside this if condition, I have to go to the next factor. So factor plus equal to 2. Okay. Even if you, after going inside this while loop and you come out of that while loop successfully, means return true because it is a prime number. Okay. Now, this is a is prime. Now, I will calculate a sum because the question says find the sum of all prime numbers. So, can I add? I call the answer as my sum. My sum is equal to, see, in the whole range, starting from 2 till 2 million, 2 is the only number, right? Which is actually even number and prime. After that, you don't have to check them at all. 4, 6, 8, etc. Don't consider them because none of them are prime. So what you can do, 2 is a prime. So add it, 2 plus. It actually saves some time. Okay. Otherwise, every number will be checked, right? Every even number will be checked. You don't have to do that because you know the fact. So remaining, you take a sum of apply a filter, sum of filter. What is the function you are applying? Is prime. You're going to apply is prime. No need to write x is prime. To what? You need to give a list. So give a range. You see, after 2, next number is 3, which is a prime. So I need to check for this 3 up to, it says it's 2 million, right? So this is 2 million increment of 2, right? Because if you say 2 comma 2 million, it will check 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. I don't want to check 4, 6, 8 and all, right? So I can skip that by just saying 2. Okay, it's going to take some time, even if I saved some time, right? It takes some time. You see that it ran for some time. This answer didn't came straightforward. All right, so then print. And, all right, so the difference should be clear, right? Something like if why did I use this 2 plus? What happens if I use sum of filter is prime range 2 comma 2 million? Absolutely fine, that will work, but that's going to run for some extra time. It will run for longer time compared to this method. So we are not just looking how to write a code, we are trying to write optimized code. All right, because when you write a code in machine learning, maybe you are aware of the fact that code might run for 2 days, 3 days. So in that, even if you save say 1 hour of time because of doing something like this, trying to write a optimized code, that is going to be really helpful. All right, so just uh, trying to give thoughts on this, that's all right. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, now next question. I didn't find any other method. Okay, I would like you to try and come back with any other method that is possible over here. All right, so I'll go to the next one. After exercise 4, let's go to exercise 5. Right? Find the largest palindrome made from the product of two three-digit numbers. So this is the question. So the question is, we know that what are the three-digit numbers starting from 100 till 999. We have three-digit numbers present, right? You can take any product, maybe 100 into 999 or 105 into 907, anything, any product you take, right? We get answers. Out of those answers, I just have to find out which is a palindrome and that is the largest, is the question. Okay, so I need to check palindrome and then I need to go with the palindromic product and maybe, right, I'll be able to simplify that further. Maybe that's what I think. Let's see how to do this now. Okay, first what I do, I'll try to reverse the string. Whatever is given, it's a number, sorry, it's not a string. We have a number, and that number I'll try to reverse it first. Define find reversed of n. N is a number which we enter, and I want to find the reverse of that. Okay, so the reverse number initialize as 0. Okay, now I have a n, so while this n is greater than 0, I do something. So how do you reverse a number? If I have 1, 2, 3, first I find the remainder of that 1, 2, 3 when I divide by 10. That means 3 will come into picture. So 3 goes as 3 becomes the first digit in my reverse number. Correct? So that's how I do it. So reversed number, that is 0 initially, equal to the reverse number. I multiply that by 10 because every time I get a new digit, the old digit should be shifting to left by 1 unit. That means I'm multiplying by 10. So when 3 is already there and 2 comes over there, it should become 32. So 3 into 10, 30, and plus the 2 which is newly coming as an answer. Okay, so that answer comes when you have when you do this, that is number, that n divide by, so it's integer, not integer, sorry, it's actually modulus. You find the remainder, right? 10. Then 1, 2, 3 is there. For the next calculation, I should consider only 1, 2. Correct? 1, 2 means when you divide 123 by 10, 1, 2 is the quotient. Correct? So n divided by equal to 10. So in a sense, I am supposed to make n integer division by 10 and put the quotient back to n. So that's what is the meaning of n divided by equal. Or you can even write n equal to n divided by 10. Both are fine for us. Okay, right. So this actually does the reversing job while n is greater than 0. As soon as n becomes equal to 0, it comes up. So you return the reversed number. Okay, I reversed it, right? and I'm supposed to check what? The palindrome or not, right? So I define another function. It's check palindrome. Again, I pass a number to this and I return true if the number entered n is equal to the previous function. Find reversed of n. So reverse number and this n, if they are same, it will return a true. Okay, that is also done. Now what I need to find the product. So define another function, palindrome. Right. So what I do, I pass two numbers to this. In a sense, smallest number and the largest number. Smallest number being 100, normally we pass. So I call it as first one. And the last one, which is actually not included here, 1000. So number less than that. So I call it as the last. This is what I pass. Let me keep the product in a list and I'll try to find the max out of it, because the question is find the largest palindrome. Only the palindrome products I'll put here, and later on I'll try to find out which is the largest of it. Okay. Sorry. Then so I will maybe I can start with the for loop. All right, the for loop I write like this: for I in the range starting from first to, and the next number will be whatever is the current value of I from there till the last. You don't have to do the second number being starting from the first. So wherever, so if I'm considering 105, I just have to find all the products 106, 107, 108 up to 1990. I don't have to come back from 101 to 105 because it's already calculated. So I use another for loop, that is J in the range, say it's I to last. Okay, now what I'm supposed to do, I have to check whether the product is palindrome or not, right? So if just check palindrome of what? This I into J. I don't have to write another code to take a product. Take a product inside and check whether it is palindrome. If it is palindrome, then only you are worried. Otherwise, you don't have to worry. So if this I into J is a palindrome, right? I already have product as a list, append to that. Okay, append this product, that is I into J. I into J will be appended only if it is a palindrome. Okay, repeat this process throughout until you finish, until you come out of your first loop and return the product, so that the product contains the complete list. Right, now in that list I am supposed to find out the max. So maximum of what is that? Pally product. Okay, Pally product starting from 100 to last number which is excluded 1000. So it says 906609. So that is the highest product which exists. Whenever you multiply any three numbers that exist between 100 and 999. It says like this. Let's verify. Let's try to do it in another method. Normally what we can do here is you don't have to reverse and you don't have to check. Okay, that's not required here. uh, that part maybe we can try to eliminate here. Only that's the part. The check, the define, the pally product, what we do here, I don't think we can reduce that, but I will show you. So I'll show the other option. This is the two. Define. Check palindrome 2. I'm going to pass n as expected. And once this is done, now I'll convert it into a string. Okay, str of n. All right. Now you see, I just have to return if this s is equal to reverse the string. String reversal is very simple. Correct. That's why I converted into string. So reversal of a string is s colon colon minus 1. If that is equal to the s itself, then returns true. So check palindrome is very simple. I actually don't need this part, what we have written out. Okay, then let me copy this as it is because I'm not going to change anything. Okay, and the last part will definitely remain same. That is this one. Only change that I'm going to make here is check palindrome 2. Okay, so it's not check palindrome because my function is check palindrome 2. So I'm just making that change, check palindrome 2 in this case. Other than that, everything remains same. I have a pally product, I'm using the same pally product. So yeah, so as we can see here, it's same 906,609, 906,609. Okay, now all right, so let's go to the next question. 4, 5. So say the sixth one. That's 6. Okay, so this is the question. Consider the terms in Fibonacci sequence whose values do not exceed 4 million. It's like a code, that's why it's in the. Oh, that's like this. Does not exceed the 4 million. Find the sum of even valued terms. Right? In a sense, generate the Fibonacci sequence up to 4 million. That's the first thing. Okay, up to 4 million, you generate this thing, and once you generate that, find out the sum of even numbers present in that Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so that's how it is. So first, let's try to generate a Fibonacci sequence. So let me define a function called fib, and I pass a number n. Maybe actually I expect to enter 4 million over here, but let me write a general function. Right? Let me create a Fibonacci list here. That's a fib list equal to initialize null. Nothing else there. Okay, now I'll assign x and y are the two variables. I'll assign 0, 1. So x is 0, y is 1. Then let me use a while condition. While x is actually lesser than the n, which is the entered number, like 4 million, I can do this. So x comma y should be equal to, so the next number should become x, so y comma, it's the sum x plus y. Okay, so this is going to be repeated. Okay, before that I need to add the number to the list. Sorry, my mistake. So what I do, I start with the fib list dot append. What I want to append, I want to append the x. The first number will go because always it will start with 0. So 0 goes there, then 1 goes there, then the 0 plus 1 will go there because that is 0 plus 1 comes from here. That will be moved to the y, and in the next step that will go back to the list. Okay, and so on. So I think we are done with that. I will return the fib list. Let's check this. All right, so fib up to 10. Yeah, so you see 0 and 1. The next number is 0 plus 1, which is 1. Next number is, it is 2 because 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. The next number is 1 plus 2, that is equal to 3. Then 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. Then 3 plus 5, that is equal to 8. So if you enter a next number, that will be 5 plus 8, 13. Okay, so you can check that maybe up to 100. The highest value will be 100. So less than 100 only you will get. Okay, so like this, if you get, that's a fib. Now I need to generate a list up to how much? Up to 4 million. Okay, and I need to select even from that. So to select even numbers, I'll define. Define is even of n. Very simple. We actually have used this already in yesterday's discussion. So you return x percentage 2 equal to 0. If x percentage 2 equal to 0, it says true. Okay, is even is done. Fib list is also done. So the question says find the even value terms and take a sum. So I need a sum. So of create a list. That is, are you applying a condition here? Yes, condition is checking is it even. So I'm not mapping, I'm actually filtering it out. So x for x in fib up to the number 4 million. 1, 6, 7. So this is 4 million. I write if is even of x. It says, what was the question? Find the sum of the even value term. Yes, x for x in s. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, all right, let's go ahead. Okay, now, uh, all right. Now, maybe we'll take up one more question to wind up. Okay, so that is uh, exercise number 7. Write a program to print the anagrams in a list. Again, it's in the just a sec. Yeah. So the question is, do you know if there is such questions in exams or multiple choice? Okay. So corresponding to the Python, there will be only multiple choice. Okay. But why I'm going in depth, it's because whenever we try to implement something related to mathematics in the by using the libraries or something, we should be capable of handling uh, the the lists, tuples, and so many things. Again, machine learning, deep learning, etc. If you study, right, definitely you will be going in pretty much depth because you write the complete code in order to understand the implementation. Okay, only that's the reason why we are going in depth in the basics class itself. All right. So again, this is just level 1 of Python. Normally, in when I teach in my institute, I will teach level 2 as well as level 3 of Python, which will go in pretty much depth compared to this. Okay, so just an analogy comparison for it. All right. Fine. So let's go where this. So let me try to give a example. What is anagram? So if yeah. So I said this is basic Python. Normally we have never moved to the level 2 of Python. This is level 1 of Python. Level 2 of Python will actually include the concepts such as classes, uh, the inheritance, then you will also include uh, polymorphism and many more things. The iterators, the regular expressions, and few concepts like that. Okay, so including that, we will do the programming. Okay, so that's what is level 2. All right, sure. Right. So let's try to write a list. The list has the following words: hello, rests, steps, sword, spear, yes, cloud, hood, and all right. Okay. So if we have two different words made up of same letters, we'll call them as anagrams. So our intention is to find out the anagrams and print them out from any given list. So that's our target, right? So let's do the coding like this. I'll create anagrams as an empty dictionary for every word that is in the given words. Normally what we do here is that maybe the typing might have caused capital letters, small letters, and a mix-up. So we convert that into lower. Word is equal to word dot lower. It's optional case. If you are very sure that everything has been entered, then no issue. Right. Now, I try to create what is called as a key. Right. So that key is equal to join the sorted, I sorted the word gets sorted, smaller first letters first, last letters last. Okay, so it happens to be the key, and I will check if the key is already there in anagrams. It's already added or not, I will check. Okay, so if the key is in, initially it's empty, so it's not going to happen. So it's a dictionary, so anagrams of the key dot, sorry, no space, dot append that particular word. In the sense, I'm making uh, uh, different, you see that I can try to print out the different lists. All right. So first I'll try to find out what are the common letters. If you see two words having the common letters, both will be put into the same list. I will join them. Okay, so that's what is my point. So I'm trying to do that. If this is the case, do this. Else, make a new thing. Okay, anagram E will be equal to, it's a word. Okay, that word will become a new anagram list. All right, so this is what is going to happen first. Then I'll check for in for a single entry in the anagrams dictionary if the length, in a sense, some of the words will, you can see that this hello will be a single entry. There are no other terms made up of the same letters. The could is also a single entry. Okay, maybe the sword is also a single entry. I don't have to consider them at all. I just have to remove them from my anagrams, because there are at least two terms should be there to become an anagram. So what I'm checking here is the length of anagrams of that anagram. If that length is greater than 1, in the sense 2 or more, then only I print. My list contains many more items, but you see, I will not print all of them. Dot join anagrams of anagram. Anagram is a single number, single entry. Anagrams talks about the complete dictionary. All right, so let me try to. Yeah, so you see, pests, steps, spear, peer, space, reaps, then cloud and could. Right? So these are the anagrams. All the other terms which you see here, like hello, the sword, then I think which one, right? Like this. So others, whatever you see there, they are actually they are present in your anagrams as a single entry, right? So we have never printed them. Other than that, whatever anagrams are there, we are trying to write it in a single. Okay. Uh, I think we are good to go. We actually have 10 minutes left, and I want you to ask any questions if you have. Uh, anything you want to ask about the today's session, or yeah, please go ahead and tell me how today's session went, and any feedback and any changes that you want in tomorrow's session. Kindly feel free to ask, please. So we'll go to the one more, the last exercise. Let's try to do that. So you enter a day and you need to print out what is the year and which day it is. So whenever the date is given in this particular format, right? We have to split it first to separate out the the numbers. All right. So we define of S. S is my string, and I check if you have dash present in S, you return S dot split the string wherever you find that dash. If there is this forward slash present in the string, you need to return S dot split it at this forward slash. That is your first part. Then you need to identify whether it is a leap year or not. Because the year which is entered could be a leap year as well. So as per the definition of leap year, it will return true if y percentage 400 equal to 0 if y percentage 100 equal to 0, else simply the y percentage 4 equal to 0. So that's how we, let me check, else, sorry, typing error. So that's how we find out a leap year. Now we go to the actual part of the program where we define the day of the year. You pass a string s to this, then create a list that is equal to, call the first function split string of this s, then get the day out of it. So day is equal to, it's the integer now, integer, convert that into integer. In the my list, go to the first one, so that is equal to 0. That gives you the day. Then the month is equal to integer of my list, go to the first one, then go to the year. Year will be present at the end, the last one. So the integer value of all right. So if I'll check leap year for the given year, if that is the case, write the day list. Day list in the sense the it's a list containing the various, what do you call, various it's a list containing days in a year. So something like this I already have written, I'll paste it. Okay, so this is what it is. That's what if it's a case, leap year. Else if it is not a leap year, then the day list is equal to, it's the same, except the change is that in second month you have just 28. Okay, that's the change. Then let's create the days equal to 0. Then for I in the range, right, whatever is the month, that month minus 1. So range month minus 1, because count actually starts from 0. That's why we are taking care of this. The days plus equal to, it's day list of right. Then you get the number of days over here, right? So the year, you need to multiply that with 1000 plus days plus day. So this is what is expected to be returned. For example, let's check day of the year. You will enter the text. So this is 9 4 2000. So that is actually in the year 2000. That's why it is 2000. The next number 100 says because it is a 100th day of that year. So 9/4/2000 is a day in year 2000. It is a 100th day counting from the beginning. So that's what is the meaning of this. So this is what has been asked, right, in the question. And yes, so you need to get an answer in the YYYY DDD form, where YYYY is the year and DDD is the nth day of the year. So we have calculated and we have printed that over here. Okay, so that actually finishes the basics of Python. And in the upcoming session, we will be moving ahead with the important libraries of Python.